Hey guys, welcome to This Girl Rants. Today we're going to be ranting about Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters. So I already did the first one, which is Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. And just an FYI, if you want a spoiler-free review, you can check out my blog. That will be linked in the description down below. This Girl Writes. And that's where you'll find the spoiler-free information. But you've been warned, this will be filled with spoilers. This discussion on this book will be filled with spoilers. Again, spoilers are happening from this point on. Okay, so to set the scene, we've got Percy, we've got Annabeth, we've got Grover, we've got Tyson. Percy, Annabeth, and Grover are part of the Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. Tyson is a new character that's introduced in this book. Percy is the son of Poseidon. Annabeth is the daughter of Athena. Grover is a satyr. And Tyson is a cyclops, which means he's also the son of Poseidon, which definitely causes some friction between him and Percy. So basically it starts off with the fact that Percy gets thrown out of another school, because each year he gets thrown out of school because of weird things happening. But the main point of this story is trying to find Grover, because he went off looking for the lost god Pan. And Percy ends up getting like these weird nightmares that make him think that Grover is in danger. And then when they get back to camp, which is, if you remember from Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, that's where they go to train and to learn and to be safe so that monsters and stuff don't hurt them. They find out that the giant tree that protects them has been poisoned, and they have to figure out a way to heal that. So the camp decides that they need to have someone go on a quest and to find the golden fleece, which is supposed to be able to heal basically anything. So Clarissa ends up being chosen to lead the quest, not Percy, which makes Percy really upset. Clarissa is a daughter of Ares. She's someone that Percy doesn't get along with, and it just makes him angry because Percy feels like he's supposed to be on this trip because he needs to save his friend Grover, and he thinks that Grover is where the fleece is, and the fact that he's not being allowed to go it just really upsets him, along with the fact that everyone is making fun of him because he has a Cyclops as a brother. They're seen as monsters, and most people in the camp don't like him, and so that transfers onto Percy some, and he's being treated in a way that he is not fond of. So basically, Percy ends up doing what he wants. He sneaks out of camp with Annabeth and Tyson, and they basically decide to go on the quest themselves. Eventually they find Clarissa, find out that no one wanted to go with her, so they journey with her for a little bit, and then they get separated again, and there's a lot of different adventure moments. This is almost like a Jason and the Argyle, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, sort of story, remnants of the Greek mythology, where they're going on a boat trip and they get stuck at a bunch of different islands, and there are certain things that I really, really like about this. I like the fact that right off the bat, Percy isn't automatically chosen to be the person to go on the quest. I like the fact that Rick Riordan went out of his way to make it so that in every book it's not going to be, yes, Percy will be the hero. And that's reflected towards the end of the book, where after they get the fleece and they get back to the mainland of the United States, they send Clarissa on ahead with the fleece so that they can distract Luke, who he's a half-blood who betrayed them and is working for Cronus. And so Percy gives up that possibility of having the glory of being the one to return the fleece, so that they can save the camp. instead of being selfish about it. And so I really like that. Something that kind of bugs me is the fact that, I mean, I love these books, so it's kind of hard to talk about the things that do bug me, but it does bug me a little bit. There's a scene where Percy gets turned into a guinea pig, and I don't know, it felt like it was a little too convenient. It's not that I dislike the scene, because I do like the scene. It's just, they just happen to have the cure because a god gave it to them earlier. And like, there's nothing wrong with that. I just kind of wish that it had taken maybe a little bit longer for them to figure out what that gift was for. But again, not a real criticism. It makes sense and everything. Something that does bug me is Annabeth's insistence on wanting to hear the sirens, which I feel is slightly out of character for her. Not totally out of character. I just feel like she tended to be the more level-headed one in the last book, and so her wanting to take this risk of hearing the siren song just seemed a smidge step out of her character development. But that being said, when you continue to read the books and you learn more about her, you figure out that that's not really outside of her wheelhouse. She is more than willing to take risks if she feels like there's a good enough reward or that it's important. It just, the first time I read it, it felt a little weird. But overall, love this book, love this series. Think everyone should read it. Everyone should support Rick Riordan by buying these books. Yeah, overall, I don't really have a ton of criticism. I really like the series. I really like these characters, and I think that most people would as well, especially if you're into Greek mythology or fantasy or anything like that. I think you'll really enjoy this series. So thank you for listening to me rant about Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters, and I will see you next time. Bye!